Thank you for joining NMH at 1 with me, Ashwin Mberi, where we highlight the news making waves in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs to community stories, sports, and economic news. Coming up in this broadcast, medicine shortage forces doctors to sedate mental patients to avoid attacks. Schlettwein under fire for discouraging firewood cooking. And Ndaitwah drops IUM. Follow all our programs on oneup2.com or DSTV 285 and GoTV 25 in Namibia. Let's head to the midday news update. Now, Mindscape Events launched the inaugural Namibia Creative Summit scheduled for September 6 to 7 in Windhoek under the theme The Economy of Talent. The summit's first day will feature workshops, art showcases and exhibitions, while the second day will culminate with the iconic Music Fest at Verkoop Stadium. The National Arts Council of Namibia has pledged 200,000 Namibian dollars in support of the event. Stay with us as we head over into visual news highlighting local stories from across Namibia.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Now, as part of their efforts to bring services closer to the people, the Health Ministry today held a groundbreaking ceremony for the Windhoek District Hospital in Havana Informal Settlement, officially inaugurated by Vice President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah. Slated to be completed in 2027, the hospital will have 500 beds, alleviating Katutura Hospital's service delivery and curbing the scramble for healthcare services by the public, which, according to Health Minister Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, leads to overcrowding and health workers' capacity constraints. Giving the keynote address, the Vice President said there is a need for everyone to embrace the idea of a healthy nation. Mariud Ngula reports.
A sick nation is a non-productive nation, and a non-productive nation will remain underdeveloped, and people will continue to suffer in poverty. Hence, a need for all of us to embrace the idea of a health nation. Our government will continue to provide and determine and as a leaders, we are focusing to make a healthy and social welfare service effective and efficiently. You might recall effective and efficiency has been the password of our past president, Dr. Hage Geingob, who says you can be efficient, but if you are not effective, it's just like you have not done anything. So therefore, we are committed to ensure that our social wealth services will be both efficient and effective, and also to create a condition for communities, households, and individuals to take control of their health. And this will be done when all of us as a nation are committed and be part of the process.
Continuing with visual news, Mine Workers Union of Namibia new acting president Poko Matthew Mberiwana elaborates on the current relationship crisis at the powerful mining union after former President Ismail Kasuto and former Vice President Desli Somseb were removed from their positions on the 28th of April and suspended from the union on 11 May. According to Mberiwana, Kasuto and Somseb thereafter orchestrated wresting control of NMH Trust, through which MUN owns the multi-million-dollar NAMIC holdings, and irregularly authorized a withdrawal of 250,000 Namibian dollars from the trust accounts. Kasuto and Somseb are challenging their expulsion in court, which case may delay the holding of an extraordinary Congress to elect new leadership for the union. Mberiwana explained, and I'll get a Greg reports.
Thank you very much. My name is Popoki Matthew Mberiwana, the acting president of Mine Workers Union. We had our special meeting that we held in Jumen on the 28th morning in Jumen, and due to some lack of leadership in our former president, Comrade Ismail Kasuto, and his vice, Comrade Desli Somseb, there was a motion table, a vote of no confidence. There was a meeting called by the comrades on the 28th after their removal, the trust meeting, which is the trust that was found by Mine Workers Union. To say there must be a 250,000 withdrawn from the trust account to be transferred to Murorwa and what was the guy which is courts law firm for any trust litigation. However, up to this today, there is no any litigation against the trust. Everything is smooth. The leadership are still trying to establish as to whether the 250 are still in the account of the lawyer, or probably it was used for something else. The president was removed because of his unethical leadership, causing division. The president have moved around regions, starting with northern region, where he was advocating for my removal myself. The president have, while there is a process that was agreed to say the forensic audit must be conducted and such a report must be availed, and anything that is being detected through that process must be held accountable. The president went to take some leaders a personal account and transaction to that effect and put them into media, just to make sure that he tarnished the reputation and the image of others. As the meeting of the 11 have resolved to say the comrade president and the former president and the vice president membership must be suspended, because we have realized that with the dealing of the trust, the comrade vice president was given the responsibility to make sure that everyone is registered, but everyone was not registered, and he didn't even report back to the trust, neither to NEC, to say, I am having this challenge with those that are not previously registered. The president went to sign the amended deed of trust, knowing that the number of the trustee are not as per the deed of trust. And there was transaction that went off the account while the comrade were removed, and they know that they are not trustees.
Let's get into the newspaper review. Namibian Sun reports that doctors and nurses at the Oshakati State Hospital have resorted to sedating mentally ill patients to avoid being assaulted. This due to a severe lack of psychotropic medication, which the hospital has suffered for months now. Patients who are in need of antidepressants and antipsychotics are reportedly mostly turned away, as the hospital has been in short supply for over a year, the doctors told Namibian Sun this week. Oshakati Psychiatric Department has a capacity of 70 beds. A doctor who spoke on condition of anonymity and who is frustrated by the conditions in which they operate said some patients can present with challenging and sometimes violent behavior, which can include grabbing, biting, punching other patients or healthcare staff, or injuring themselves. On page 3, the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund has recorded 970 crashes between 1 January and 10 May, resulting in 147 fatalities and 1,789 injuries. Statistics indicate that the Commerce region recorded the highest number of car crashes, accounting for 342, 34%, followed by Erongo with 134 and Oshana with 93 at 10%. In Windhoek alone, year-to-date statistics indicate that there were 334 crashes, 489 injuries and 12 fatalities recorded. Additionally, Commerce had the highest number of injuries at 499, followed by Erongo with 258 and Oshodonjupa with 186. Regarding fatalities, Oshana recorded the highest number at 21, followed by Oshodonjupa at 17 and Erongo and Kavango East with 16 each. Now, on the front page of Republican, 4 out of 5 elderly people in Namibia who receive pension money live in rural areas, often in extreme poverty and with no or little access to water, power, or toilet facilities. Most live in Omusati, Oshana, and Oshikoto, the home of the country's poorest residents. About 69% remain in traditional dwellings, 8% in corrugated iron houses, and in most cases, they are the oldest resident in the household and the primary carer of children in the house. This with an average monthly income of 1,000 Namibian dollars, which is largely dependent on food aid, which is totally inadequate. On page 3, Malakia Shipanga, who stands accused of murdering Vilo Haipanguli, has applied for bail at the Walvis Bay Magistrates Court. Now, according to the police incident report, on 10 September 2023, around 15:20 at Kilimanjaro Street in Kusepmunda, a group of friends and relatives accompanied by the victim confronted Shipanga about his presence in the victim's yard after being warned not to enter. Allegedly, the suspect became aggressive, pushed the victim, and then took a knife from his waist. He chased after the group until the victim fell. While on the ground, the suspect stabbed the victim twice in the right side of his neck and the upper left side of his arm. The victim died at the scene, the report stated. During the bail application proceedings, prosecutor Anna Kelta Kanjimi stated that the state opposes bail, arguing it is not in the public interest or in the administration of justice. The accused is a flight risk. The safety of the accused is also a concern, and there is risk that he may commit further offenses. Now, on the front page of Agomana Zeitung, a position from the end of April seeks to stop alleged illegal sand mining activities at Swakop near Okahanja. The operator of the open-cast sand mine defends itself against the accusation and explains how illegal sand mining can actually be recognized. The operators of an open-cast sand mine not far from Okahanja have recently been the subject of complaints from various local residents. In a petition at the end of April, they expressed their concern about suspected illegal sand extraction in the dry bed of the Swakop. The extraction of stone, sand, and gravel is causing irreparable damage to nature, wildlife, and surrounding communities. The companies operating the extraction site are Super Sand and its subsidiary JT Freighting. In their petition, the signatories called on the Ministry of the Environment and the Ministry of Agriculture, among others, to take immediate and decisive action to stop all illegal sand mining activities. Now on page 3, the informal settlements of Okahanja, where the water shortage has worsened. Residents have had to walk a long way to a single communal tap and queue for hours for water. Residents of Okahanja's informal settlements, including Samstan, Vrygenoeg, Promised Land, and Ekunde, have been without water for 2 to 3 weeks, causing significant hardship in the community. Now, the ongoing water supply crisis in these neighborhoods has forced residents to walk long distances to a community tap near the Samaritan network to fetch water, waiting up to 7 hours. We're going to continue with the newspaper review, this time swinging over to the Namibian. The Namibian reports that the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Schlettwein, has come under fire for saying cooking with wood or charcoal is unhealthy and contributes to global warming. He posted these remarks on X on Wednesday. This had received mixed reactions by social media users and politicians. Schlettwein said fuel emits more carbon dioxide than the total emission of the global marine and aviation industries combined. It has very serious negative health impacts on 175 million households on the African continent, about 900 million individuals, he said. Now on page 3, the airport services company Menzies Aviation Namibia has lost a second Supreme Court appeal in the court saga that resulted from its attempts to hang on to a contract for the provision of ground handling services at Hosea Kutako International Airport. In a decision delivered this week, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal of Menzies against a High Court judgment dating from May last year, when Menzies was trying to stop the Namibia Airports Company from implementing the award of a contract for the provision of grounds handling services at the airport to a competitor, Paragon Investment Holdings. The Supreme Court's judgment marks the second time in less than a year that Menzies has lost an appeal in the country's top court. Its previous loss came in June last year, when the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal against a High Court judgment in which it was declared that Menzies' contract to perform ground handling services at Hosea Kutako International Airport would terminate at the end of June 2022, and that the company should thereafter vacate premises it had been using at the airport. Now, New Era's lead story reports that International University of Management Governing Council member Epaphras Ndaitwah yesterday resigned from this position after serving the institution for 9 years. It is not clear why Ndaitwah, Vice President and SOPO presidential candidate Netumbo Ndaitwah's husband, decided to call it quits. Ndaitwah's resignation comes hot on the heels of reports that the institution allegedly financed the political activities of the Independent Patriots for Change, whose leader, Panduleni Itula, alongside other presidential hopefuls, are expected to square it off against Ndaitwah during the November presidential and National Assembly elections. On page 3, Conrad Botha and his wife, Zimbabwe national Charlotte Murove, lodged an application in the Windhoek High Court to have their possessions seized by the police returned. They are asking the High Court, through their lawyer Sisana Manje, instructed by Africa Yankees, to issue a rule nisi temporary interdict upon the two officers, Inspector Joe Shikongo and Warrant Officer Ervin Serogwe, who confiscated their laptops, cell phones and other gadgets upon their arrest. According to court documents, the couple wants the court to review, correct and set aside the decision by the officers to seize their property. They further want the court to declare the seizure unlawful and invalid. Now, looking at Market Watch, the page reports that Paratus Namibia Holdings Limited has successfully raised over 600 million Namibian dollars through its recent issue and investment drive, which was fully subscribed. This significant capital infusion has effectively doubled the company's market capital on the Namibia Stock Exchange. You are still with NMH at 1. Stay with us as we head into economic news after the break. The Namibia Revenue Agency will host the 39th Regional Steering Group meeting scheduled to take place in Soccermund from 20 to 22 May. The gathering will discuss the status of decisions made during the 29th Governing Council meeting in Madagascar in May last year, focusing on the implementation of the Regional Strategy 2022 to 2025. Members will have the opportunity to exchange strategies and experiences at both national and regional level. Let's have a look at what the indicators hold for us. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.27 next to the US dollar. 2.53 Namibian dollars means you can get 1 Chinese yuan. 19.80 is 1 euro, and for 23.06 Namibian dollars you can get a British pound. First Rand Namibia stock is down minus 0.50%, whilst Leseko Holdings is performing pretty well, plus 2.50%. Platinum is down minus 0.28%, whilst gold trades at 2,385.48 an ounce. And the overall index closed down minus 0.05%. Let's head into news from Africa. A planned mass wedding of 100 orphans in Nigeria has been cancelled following widespread public concerns about the welfare of those involved. The wedding, set for the end of this month, was sponsored by Abdul Malik Sakindanji, the Speaker of the National Assembly in the largely Muslim northwestern state of Niger. It involved orphans who had lost family members during attacks by armed gangs. Critics have expressed concern that some girls may be underage or being forced to comply for financial gain. We'll take a quick ad break before we return with the sport.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
The Namibian Hockey Union today hosted the official send-off of the Namibian hockey teams that are set to compete in the African Nations Cup in Soccermund from 23 to 26 May. Deputy Minister of Sport Emma Kantema Khaumas wished the teams well, encouraging them to perform well at the best of their abilities and ensure that they win the cup, which could see them qualifying for the next World Cup. The event was held at Namibia Media Holdings, actually Network Media Hub. Now, disrupted kudu's host high-flying UNAM Sparks, and they will definitely fly when the two top-placed teams of the Namibia Rugby Union Premier League clash at Jan Vilkens Stadium in Walvis Bay. The University of Namibia team will be in the harbour town to play FNB Kudus for the first time this season. Passionate home supporters are expected to fill the stadium for this occasion. Should the weather cooperate and the wind stay away, running rugby could be the order of the day. In the 2023 season, Kudus defeated UNAM 24-8 away in Windhoek, while the student team turned the tables by clinching the Chandler Plateau Trophy in Walvis Bay. We are going to call it a day with regards to our sports. Just in case you're wondering what's happening on the entertainment calendar, here's Chill.
Hello NMH at One viewers, my name is Michael Kayunde. I'm back on your TV screens to give you guys a lowdown of some of the events you can expect to check out this weekend. Firstly, you can check out that is Chill Sessions tonight at 1900 hours on NTV. That's the show where I get to take you in and around the country, counting down the trending music videos for the week. Moving along with other events you can expect to catch this weekend, you can expect to catch that is the Bank Windhoek Seawork Seafood Festival taking place, that is at Olympia Swimming Pool. It's a 2-day festival, which means it's happening today, Friday, as well as tomorrow, Saturday. Performances by the likes of, that is the Els, Von Arends, and many more are happening or are lined up for this event. So if you are, a fan of seafood and you also like music, please make sure you head to, that is Olympia Swimming Pool for the Seawork Food Festival. And also you can catch, that is the International Food and Craft Bazaar taking place at NAST Hotel School tomorrow from 10 to that is 3 p.m. at NAST Hotel School. So you can expect to check out those events this weekend. From me, Michael, until next time, it's goodbye.
Now, as we say goodbye, the Standard Bank Namibia Secondary Schools Rugby NSSR Under-19 Super League kickstarts this weekend with all 8 teams in action in 4 matches. Windhoek Gymnasium's King Price Lions and Samsung Windhoek High School will both start their new campaign after the two schools faced each other in the 2023 final, which ended in a dramatic 34-34 draw at the Hage Geingob Stadium. In accordance with NSSR regulations, no extra time was played, while the trophy is shared for 6 months plants at each school. From me, Ashwin Bedi, and the NMH at One team, thank you for staying with us. See you next week.